It could have certainly gotten better than this, but the good thing about it all is that it's not yet over. Banyana Banyana could still qualify for the 2027 World Cup in Brazil next year. They have to do that the long way, that is via the continental playoff. They will face us rivals Nigeria here in Casablanca on Thursday night. A win and nothing else from that match is all that it will take for them to actually qualify for the intercontinental playoff late this year and early next year. We've just come out now from the Premier's press conference speaking to Banyana coach Desiree Ellis and Captain Refugee. They've both highlighted the importance of actually being clinical in front of goal and actually being solid at the back. Of course, they are speaking this from experience and obviously from what have happened here in the previous few days. We lost out of an automatical spot via qualifying through the semi-final after we lost to host Morocco in the quarterfinals. We've got now a second bite of the cherry, and it is up to the team to actually make it count. For IOL Sport, I'm Mihlali Baleka in Casablanca.
Shukran.
The experience that we had in the team really helped us to good state. Obviously, when you talk about younger players, we have Karabo who's been in the team for a while. He's 25. We have other players that's been in the team for a while that are still young, early 20s. And that's a plus for us, with all that experience that they have. It's a plus for us that they have that experience. And we of the opinion that we always blood in the new young players slowly, that you just throw them in. You throw them in, they have a bad game, the media turns the story around and says we should have protected them. So we've got to have that balance where we create opportunities for them in tournaments, we create opportunities for them in friendly matches to be able to, and sometimes you bring players with the experience. I remember Coach Hugo Bruce brought 2 young players with them. They never played. No Chandres now, we're playing overseas, the same as Smith. And that's what we try to create as well, because we also look at the time that they're already. You can't just throw someone in for the sake of throwing someone in. Isabella's 23 as well, Ronaldo's 21, Ronatemba's 24. So we do have young players in our squad that we are blooding slowly when the time is right. People always look at people's ages and think, that's it. I think Loco played until the age of 39, and if I were to listen to people saying that, she's old, she must go, then where would we be now? We look at the experienced players that's in the team, they're still doing the job. And football is a matter of opinions, and the one day the team wins and everybody's doing a great job, and the next minute the team loses, then it's there's too many old players in the team, and I believe and I have faith in each and every player I select, otherwise she wouldn't be sitting next to me. And I think back home and everywhere else, I think, that people should respect that, first of all, these are human beings more than anything. Human beings, and we're not saying don't criticize, we're not saying because you are supporters, you are supporters, you support this team, and I don't think any individual goes onto the field to lose a match. You're playing against an opponent that has maybe been better than you on the day, and if you say that, you also said, but you also get told, but how did you play? And sometimes that happens when the opponent is better than you on the day, or the opponent takes their chances on the day. But I just think we need to be mindful of the fact that people are human beings, and I think that is the biggest regret for me, that mentally, because it could be you, it could be you, it could be your sister, it could be your brother. How would you react if those things were said about you? So we have to be mindful of the fact that this is human beings, and yes, as you said, you use the word old, I use the word experience. For me, it's never about the age, whether you're 18, whether you're 19, or whether you're 30-something. It's never about the age, because experience can only mean something if it adds value. And for me, these senior players still add value because they have the experience. And we've done that in the past, where we've integrated players slowly. Now they've become the experienced players. So we take time in giving those young players an opportunity, bring them here, because you can explain what the WAFCON is about. You can explain what the World Cup is about, but until you go there to experience it. And I go back to the Men's World Cup in 1994. Who was sitting on the floor, not ready to play, but was sitting on the floor, was the great Ronaldo. And then what happened after that? You went and became the best player in the world. So we also have to be very careful how we integrate players. We have to be very careful when we bring them in, because you can break them before that, and then you get told that you just threw them at the wolves. To sound arrogant in any way. Don't don't take it like that. When the team does well, then none of these things or these questions come up. The minute the team doesn't do well, then it's players of, oh, the coach is this one is this, that one is that. So you got to look at it both ways, and you got to be respectful. Yes, there's criticism, and you can take that criticism. And as I said, you know, they're human beings, but you've got to look at each game on its merits, and you've got to give messages on each game on its merits, because if we were now playing the semi-finals today, what would people have said about the team? And I leave it there.